All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Let's hope this works. So I did the store spread. I had to squeeze it a little bit because of the video. So let's start out with my significator, which I drew at random. It turns out to be the 4 of Cups. As I was noting in my diary, we have a young man sitting against a tree with his arms folded, 3 cups in front of him, 1 cup being handed to him by a spirit, and basically the tree. So we have greenery. The guy seems to be bored, trying to hold something away from him, out of touch. And if we're talking about the suit of emotions, it could be that the emotions that he is currently feeling are boring him. He's not interested anymore. And as if to get him out of this slump, Spirit has offered him a further cup to contemplate, to integrate into himself. And so considering that there's a certain, I don't even know if we would say boredom, but it's a complacency, a sameness about my life right now that is reflective of this part. And this could be the information I've received from the course I took. It could be my interest, furthering interest in diaries and tarot. It could be a few things that I'm working on right now in my personal growth. But we could say this is kind of like the center of the activity. So let's look at the top card, which I call the situation at the moment card. And it's also a 4, this time of swords. So we have 4 of swords, 4 of cups, 4 of swords. We're talking intellect, but we're also talking this idea of resting. And I always thought of it as being resting after a battle. And it would appear that he's resting in a church. He's got some kind of a spiritual or religious aspect about it. In a weird way, he's sleeping on one of the swords. 3 of the swords almost look like they're threatening to impale him if they were to fall. So sleep, rest, tentativeness, but potential danger. And if we were talking about trying to get away from your thoughts, could we be talking about meditation and the danger of allowing your thoughts to take over and to sort of overwhelm you? And the plate glass window is sort of like a colorful part of this very gray card. So it seems like a window is bringing in color, light, maybe spirit or redemption. So all in all, I'm going to say it's a card of rest. It's a card of meditation. So the situation could be that I'm not allowing myself to get rest. Could be that I'm not allowing myself to have that moment of meditation, maybe getting into a practice or something like that. So let's take that and that as what the spread is about. Bored, looking for some way to get a new flavor of my emotional being, which is kind of stagnant. Could be the pills. Let's, we'll shelf that for now. And we also have the rest card, the card of rest. So let's first take a look at the past card. The past card here is the devil. And obviously, when you get the devil, the first thing you think of is, oh shit, of course. And the second thing you think about is, where am I controlled? What's controlling me? What's leading me? What's guiding me? What's a lot of people think of it as a card of addictions. I think less of it as addictions. I think addictions are habits. addictions are kind of like habits that we've chosen. Not all of them are good for us. Not all of them are bad for us, but they're habits. But I think of it more as a series of control. We have the control of the pillar that the devil sits on. I was pointed out a long time ago that the chains around the neck of the man and the woman are loose. All they would have to do is lift it off their heads, and they'd be free from that. The man has a flame tail, the woman has a pomegranate tail. I'm going to have to get more details about the pomegranate. I think it has to do with spirit. So we've got fire and we've got spirit, and we've got the chains, the connection, and we also have the overwhelming force that is the devil, upside down pentagram, indicating negative energy. We've got everybody's has horns. I'll leave that for now. But if we're looking at the past and we're trying to meld this idea of meditating and restlessness and boredom, we could be talking about just the general way that I feel like life is controlling me. Like I don't have a choice. Like I have to go to work. I have to get up. I have to go to bed. I have to do these things in order to live, to be comfortable when I quit working so that I'm not poverty stricken, and to allow myself to be able to have the things I want and do the things I want to do. But it's almost like that's being held over my head. It's like this, okay, here's what you can get at the end, but for now, you got to feel controlled in everything you do. So I don't think it's as much that physical control as it is my idea of being controlled and having that weight on me, that power that's driving me in a way that isn't comfortable, that I don't feel comfortable with. And so if I'm the male here, again, my shackles are loose. I have the fire in me. I have the fire next to me. And I have the ability to take myself out of this situation. Looking at it in the past, what we could say is that I have felt in the past as if I am controlled, and that I have no choice in the things that I'm doing. I have to work. I have to earn money. I have to go to the store. I have to drive to work. I have to do all these things. I have to. Everything's a have to. The few moments I have like this, tarot, contemplation, journaling, playing the video game I like, reading, provide me with an amount of rest, an amount of time away from this, but this still hovers in the background. And this is very hard to get away from. It's like you can't just shove it off. It's there. And, perhaps this is a way to erode that. But let's get right into this, because obviously this is sitting here, Ten of Swords is sitting here going, hey dude, here's the future. Now, obviously, the part of you that wants everything to be good and positive wants you to eliminate that card or run away from it. But let's embrace it. If we look at let's say control, let's say unwanted control. And here we're talking about death. Now, are we talking about death physically? I don't think so. I will admit I have some health issues I'm looking at, but I don't think that I'm going to be dying anytime soon. If we're talking about swords, it could be that this means that the process of thinking, the process of whatever this person is going through has killed them and is leaving them aside to die or been dead. He's dead. So if we were to take these two side by side, say past, future, you could say that the past is this control, this idea of control that is causing me negative emotions because of this helplessness or this feeling that I have no way to get out. These thoughts, which are thoughts, the control, that's a thought, or many thoughts, these thoughts are killing me. They're causing me stress, they're causing me undue concern, they're causing me to be unhappy with where I am, they cause me to be doubtful about the future, they cause me to question all the decisions that I've made about my money, about my retirement, about my relationship with Patty and how that's going, how I'm handling my cats, how I'm doing all this different stuff. Not a whole lot of stuff, but it's my stuff. And so you'd say, yeah, this is going to kill you. In other words, this is going to exacerbate the negative qualities of the paranoia about the control. This is what happens when this goes unchecked. And so let's leave it for now. We have these two cards. We have the significator and we have the current situation kind of sitting between these two cards, this past and future card. So let's hold off on that for now. And let's look at the negative thoughts about the situation. Right off the bat, what strikes me is that the negative thought about the situation is that I need to be the valiant knight in shining armor, filled with vigor, filled with fury and fire, filled with passion, and I need to ram through this. I need to ram through it, create a path here. But I believe the negative thought would be that that's not the way to do it. It's not something you can power through. These are very powerful cards. This is the Devil, and this is the Ten of Swords. Those are very powerful negative cards. I'm sorry, they're negative cards. And they're not, again, you can't just slough that off. You can't just blink and be done with it. It's something inside of you. And so the hope and the dream that if I could just man up, grab my club, grab my horse, put on my armor, and burn into that fire and just mow down all those challenges and mow down all those thoughts, mow down the stress that's causing the death, the mental death. And I think that that's a falsehood, that's an illusion, and that's a negative way to think about it. I think that because of what I've learned, especially lately, that this kind of energy is good for many people. Many people thrive on that kind of energy. But in my sense, these two cards kind of working together, the rest, but mental rest. So again, you need to be on your guard that you're not going to just sort of fall into a stupor. Use this colorful window between the inside and the outside to allow you to get a better quality of rest and the potential for a change of heart in the indifference. The possibility is there. It's not etched in stone. So, moving to the positive thoughts, this would be more in line with something that could break through this energy, its strength, Leo, and Traditionally, we have the woman who is either closing the lion's mouth, opening the lion's mouth, or embracing the lion, one way or another. We have the roses, which are always a symbol of emotion and love. Infinity symbol. This is an eternal state of being. This can be an eternal state of being. The white robes indicate purity. And of course, the lion represents our animal instincts, our passions, our drives, our unconscious forces in us. And for demonstration on the camera, the woman is our higher self, our higher being, and she is able to contain or calm the lion. And so we have this idea that we have the strength, almost without doing anything, to tame that. And we see that we're in a lush area, and there's growth there as well. So there's growth, and there's the dominion over our more passionate base ways of being. So if we were to sum it up, let's see if we can sum this up. Next time I'm going to turn the cards over, you can see it better. But for this time, let's just do it this way. Okay, so we've got our challenges of being overwhelmed by feeling controlled, and the effect that has when you allow it to go on for too long. Your thoughts will kill you and cause you disease and stress and worry and panic and exaggerate the reality of the situations in your life. We have the unskillful way of handling it, which is kind of like powering through it. And we have the skillful way of handling it, which is to gently control those feelings. Consider that to be the lion, and consider this to be my higher self, reflected here in a more minor way. Then we would see the formula is, let's just kind of take this out of the equation. That's something we're not going to do. Let's put these kind of together, because these are working together. They're the emotion and intellect around the number 4, square, solid, fortified structure that has been built. And it sort of indicates a calm, like calming isn't the right word. I want to say creating a space that can be good, positive. You take these, kind of put those together and say, this is the positive line. So you can see what I'm talking about here. We have our past and we have our future, to me, indicated as if there was nothing between them. This is what happens when this happens, in the context of this being overwhelmed by being controlled, being out of control by being controlled. And this is the outcome of that, which is that your thoughts will take over and drive you to the point of insanity, and that's not a good thing. So let's imagine that these cards here are going to break that pattern, giving myself an opportunity to meditate, giving myself time and space to be calm, quiet, and reflect. To imagine taking that rested energy and using that as, say, visualize my higher self calming, not controlling, not destroying, but calming that energy so that it can slowly be taken down. and not just blown up, because it's part of you. Everything is, even this is part of you, part of you. How do you balance this? I'm big on balance. How do you balance this? So this is initially my idea. The opportunity for an additional piece of this puzzle to maybe get you out of your indifference and awake to the possibility that you can move forward. And the idea that part of this, part of creating this is this resting, this meditating, this, kind of guarded and yet open resting. So bringing in meditation, allowing that to open myself up to ideas that can benefit me, utilizing the spirit to calm and tame my out of control mind set about what's been going on in my life, which has been going on, this mindset has been going on for so long that it's not just going to go away. It's going to take slow, gentle work to ease this and make it maybe a little farther, maybe a little not so prevalent. So there you go. Spirit reading, 5-card. Can't wait to see what this looks like on the video. So refer to this in my journal entry for June the 4th, 2023. And thank you for your time.